Texas and Oklahoma meeting in the Red River Shootout. The Sooners have won the last 4 in this series, but anything can happen in a rivalry game. Plenty on the line here with Steve Sarkisian looking for his signature win and trying to reach 500 in his tenure with the Horns. And Brent Venables hoping to win back an angsty fan base. Our team experts Joey Helmer and Chip Brown are here to break it all down. Guys, Oklahoma has been hit bad with a case of the injury bug. Several starters leaving the game last week against TCU. Perhaps the most important is Dillon Gabriel, who took a nasty hit to the head. But Texas dealing with a quarterback situation of its own. Quinn Ewers might return to the field for the first time since week 2. Chip, who do you expect to see under center for the Longhorns?
Well, Quinn Ewers, this is the game that Texas has been pointing toward for Quinn Ewers to return since suffering that sternoclavicular joint sprain against Alabama. And it's an interesting week for Steve Sarkisian because Hudson Card is coming off his best game as a Longhorn after, completing 21 of 27 passes for 300 yards and a couple touchdowns to Xavier Worthy. So it's an interesting decision for Steve Sarkisian. Hudson Card a little more mobile. OU has struggled with mobile quarterbacks, but Sark doesn't really run his quarterback. So I'm expecting to see Quinn Ewers against Oklahoma.
Yeah, and on Oklahoma's side of things, it is all as well about that quarterback position with Dillon Gabriel leaving the TCU game with a head injury, and Davis Beville came in and was the quarterback from that point and didn't exactly impress. So we'll see what they do at quarterback there, if they go in favor of General Booty at some point or perhaps Nick Evers. And then Oklahoma suffered just a ton of injuries as well, all over the field. Billy Bowman in the defensive backfield, that's a key starter that Oklahoma could be without as well. So they're battered and bruised. There's no question about it going into this game. But the headliner, of course, obviously is Gabriel there.
Another theme for both these teams heading into kickoff, run the dang ball. Bijan Robinson expected to have a breakout day for Texas. And on the Oklahoma side, we already know there's been more emphasis on the ground game this season with OC Jeff Lebby coming in. But Joey, how much more important does that become given this quarterback situation?
This is a game where Oklahoma absolutely has to run the football. In my mind, with what Beville did in the throw game last week, 7 of 16 for 50 yards, just really wasn't able to stretch the field at all. Didn't give you much confidence that he's going to be able to stretch the field. So lean on those guys. Eric Gray, a veteran who's played in this game. Marcus Major didn't travel to TCU last week. He's another one of those guys on the injury list, but has looked good in the run game at times this year. And Javonte Barnes as well toted the rock in Major's absence. So to me, it's about getting those guys to push up front. I think Oklahoma to have a chance really has to play a ball control game and hope on the other side of the ball that they're able to slow Texas down a little bit in this football game.
Yeah, and as much trouble as Oklahoma's had handling counter and power, I expect to see Bijan Robinson with a big load on the ground in this game. Texas has struggled to run the ball early in games against Texas Tech, even against West Virginia, because they've got a true freshman starting at right guard. The interior of the line has struggled to open up some holes, so Texas has been running a lot of perimeter zone, inside-outside zone. But like I said, I expect to see Texas load up on counter and power in this game and hand the ball to Bijan Robinson. Last year against TCU, a defense that was struggling against the run, he had 35 carries for 216 yards and a couple touchdowns. And that's the kind of game I see Texas leaning on Bijan Robinson that way. He's run for 100 yards in each of the last 3 games, but I think this is going to, be a 20, 25, maybe even 30 carry game for Bijan Robinson against that beleaguered Oklahoma defense.
Now, guys, we're not even to the midpoint of the season, and it's been a roller coaster for both teams. The ups and downs likely to continue in this rivalry game as the last 9 meetings have been decided by 1 possession. Chip, you go ahead and take this first. What's the mentality heading into the weekend?
Well, this Texas team, gained a reputation in this game a year ago for not being able to finish. They got up 28-7, 38-20 at halftime. It was every Longhorn fan's dream Red River shootout first half, and then it turned into a nightmare thanks to Caleb Williams playing the role of Freddy Krueger and just leading that incredible comeback. While Texas was collapsing in that game, ended up losing 55-48, and Steve Sarkisian's teams have gained a reputation since that game for not being able to finish. Happened again 2 weeks ago at Texas Tech, up 31-17 with 4:27 left. They tried to run the ball, run out the clock. The defense tried to keep everything in front of them, and they ended up losing the game. Gave up a bunch of fourth down conversions. And so, Steve Sarkisian's also got to show that he can win away from Austin. He's 1-6 in games away from Austin, including 4 straight losses on the road that started in this game against Oklahoma a year ago. So he even talked about Texas losing their composure late in the game when they were in the OU end of the Cotton Bowl. And that's crazy talk. I mean, you got to be able to hold up mentally in that environment. And so Texas has got to show that they can win this game away from home, exercise some demons against Oklahoma, and finish.
Yeah, and mentality is such a good word to use when discussing the Oklahoma program right now. Quite frankly, they've been a mentally weak team the last couple of weeks, especially on the defensive side of the ball. TCU, Kansas State a week before did whatever it wanted to do, and then TCU could have really named their score last week. In Oklahoma, it's about getting right in the mentality department and showing up and being a physical, tough-minded program that Brent Venables prides himself on. That was kind of his calling card when he came in last winter, was that he was going to have a tough football program, and Oklahoma has kind of shown some softness. I think maybe from the previous few years it's crept in at times, and they've got to get out of that. They have to be physical against Texas this weekend if they're going to be in this football game for 4 quarters.
All right, lots to prove for these programs, these coaches. Nothing to prove for our 2 guys here. Great stuff as always. Joey and Chip, thanks for your time. And for more insight on this game and coverage on Texas and Oklahoma all season long, check out OU Insider and Horns247.com.